Jasmine Pineda lives in Clearwater, Florida, with her boyfriend Matt Branis and their young daughter, Lila. They have built what many would call a dream life. Their home, a $2 million mansion in a quiet, picturesque neighborhood, is filled with sunlight, large windows, and meticulously decorated rooms that reflect both their personalities and their hard work. The house stands as a symbol of their achievements, a place where countless memories were meant to be created. Jasmine and Matt spend their days balancing work, parenting, and the simple joys of life. Every morning begins with the sound of birds, the aroma of coffee, and the laughter of their daughter echoing through the hallways. Life seems steady and secure. Jasmine rises early, preparing breakfast and tending to Lila while Matt handles work-related tasks or small home projects. They enjoy quiet moments together, watching Lila play in the backyard, grilling food on weekends, and sharing small talks about their dreams, plans, and hopes for the future. Friends often comment on their home and lifestyle, but Jasmine and Matt remain grounded, always emphasizing family and love over material wealth. One morning, as sunlight pours through the windows and the house is filled with ordinary domestic sounds, an unusual smell begins to linger in the air. At first, it is faint, barely noticeable, but within moments, it becomes more pronounced. The smell of smoke creeps into the living spaces, unnoticed at first as Jasmine focuses on Lila's breakfast and Matt sips his coffee. The subtle signs are easy to miss, and life continues normally for a few minutes. Suddenly, the situation escalates. A small flame appears in the kitchen, quickly spreading across the counters and cabinets. In a matter of minutes, smoke fills the air, alarms start blaring, and panic sets in. Jasmine and Matt immediately recognize the severity of the situation. They grab Lila and begin to evacuate, attempting to save a few personal belongings, but realizing that the fire is too fast-moving. The once safe home that represented comfort, security, and success is now a dangerous, uncontrollable force. Outside, the neighbors watch in disbelief as the flames consume the house. Firefighters arrive within minutes, sirens wailing, hoses spraying, but the fire has already caused extensive damage. Jasmine and Matt stand on the lawn, holding their daughter, eyes filled with shock, fear, and sorrow. The home that they built together, filled with memories, family photos, and cherished items, is now engulfed in flames. The sense of loss is overwhelming, the reality almost impossible to comprehend. Even as the fire rages, Jasmine and Matt try to process their emotions. They move between disbelief and grief, their minds replaying moments they thought would last forever. The reality of their situation is harsh. Everything they invested in their home, every small detail they carefully curated, has been destroyed. The neighborhood is filled with smoke and debris, the sound of cracking wood and fallen materials echoing through the air. Friends and family rush to offer help, providing comfort, blankets, and support, but the scale of the loss feels immense. As the flames die down and the smoke begins to clear, Jasmine and Matt are left with the aftermath. The house is in ruins, belongings are destroyed, and the life they once knew has been fundamentally altered. Yet amidst the devastation, there is a glimmer of hope. They have survived. They have each other. They have Lila. The family begins to focus on the immediate steps ahead, dealing with insurance claims, finding temporary housing, salvaging whatever is possible, and supporting one another emotionally. The fire becomes more than just a disaster. It becomes a turning point. It forces them to confront their vulnerabilities, their reliance on material stability, and the impermanence of life. It tests their strength, resilience, and the depth of their family bond. In the following days, Jasmine and Matt reflect on what truly matters, the love they share, the safety of their child, and the ability to rebuild their lives from the ground up. Despite the emotional weight, they also find moments of clarity. They understand that life can change in an instant, that security is temporary, and that resilience comes from adaptation and support. The loss of their mansion does not equate to the loss of hope. Instead, it ignites a new determination to rebuild their lives, focusing on what is truly important: family, love, and perseverance. As the sun sets over Clearwater, casting long shadows over the remnants of the house, Jasmine and Matt hold Lila close and look toward the future. The fire has taken their home, but it has not taken their spirit. It has not taken their dreams. They know the road ahead will be difficult, filled with challenges, setbacks, and emotional struggles. But together, they begin to plan the next chapter of their lives, stronger and more united than ever, determined to rise from the ashes and create a new beginning. The events of that day mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Their lives will never be the same, but the family's love and resilience provide the foundation to face whatever comes next. The tragedy of losing a home becomes a lesson in survival, a story of hope, and a testament to the enduring strength of family bonds. After the devastating fire that destroyed their mansion, Jasmine, Matt, and Lila are forced to adjust to an entirely new reality. They move into a temporary rental, a modest apartment that contrasts sharply with the grandeur of their previous home. Everything feels smaller, confined, and unfamiliar. The walls are bare, the rooms echo with emptiness, and the luxurious lifestyle they once took for granted seems like a distant memory. Despite the challenges, the family focuses on the most important thing, being together. Jasmine wakes each morning with Lila in her arms, watching her daughter grow resilient in a world that suddenly feels unpredictable. Matt spends hours on phone calls with insurance companies, contractors, and temporary housing agencies, trying to navigate the bureaucratic maze. The process is slow, frustrating, and emotionally draining, but he never lets it show weakness in front of Jasmine or Lila. Their days are a mix of mundane tasks and emotional turbulence. Salvaging personal items from what remains of the house becomes a ritual of grief and memory. Every photograph, every small keepsake carries a weight of loss and nostalgia. Jasmine holds Lila tightly as they look through charred remnants, telling her daughter stories of their old home, trying to preserve the sense of normalcy that has been shattered. At night, exhaustion weighs heavily on both Jasmine and Matt. Sleep is difficult because their minds replay the disaster over and over. They lie awake thinking about what they have lost, their possessions, their stability, and the sense of security that comes from a home they carefully built. Yet in these quiet hours, they also find determination. They speak in whispers about rebuilding, about creating a life that is stronger and more meaningful than before. Friends and extended family offer help wherever they can. Meals, temporary furniture, and emotional support arrive daily. The generosity of the people around them becomes a reminder that while material things can be destroyed, community and human connection remain intact. Jasmine and Matt realize that they are not alone in this struggle, and the support strengthens their resolve to move forward. Weeks turn into months as they begin planning their next steps. They meet with contractors, architects, and financial advisors to figure out how to rebuild or find a permanent home. Every choice is weighed carefully, from location to design, cost to safety, reflecting lessons learned from the fire. Jasmine becomes deeply involved in planning, insisting on features that prioritize family safety and comfort. Matt focuses on budgeting and logistics, ensuring that the next chapter will not repeat past mistakes. During this period, the family also focuses on emotional recovery. Lila begins asking questions about why their house burned down. Jasmine and Matt answer honestly, but gently, emphasizing resilience, hope, and the importance of family. They create new routines, small joys to replace what was lost. Morning walks in nearby parks, small home-cooked meals in their temporary kitchen, and bedtime stories that help Lila feel safe. The experience changes Jasmine and Matt in profound ways. They become more appreciative of the small things in life, more patient with each other, and more intentional about their goals. Every decision is now informed by the knowledge that life is unpredictable and that material wealth, while comforting, is never permanent. They start keeping journals, documenting memories of Lila's growth, the challenges they face, and the lessons learned from the fire. These journals become both therapy and a roadmap for the family's future. Slowly, hope begins to replace despair. They find a new house, not as extravagant as the mansion they lost, but functional, safe, and full of potential. The process of moving in is bittersweet. They mourn the loss of the past, but embrace the opportunity to create new memories. Unpacking boxes, setting up furniture, and decorating rooms become acts of healing. Every corner filled with personal touches represents resilience and a commitment to family. By the end of this period, Jasmine, Matt, and Lila have transformed their tragedy into a story of survival. They understand that life can change in an instant, but love, determination, and unity are constants that can never be destroyed. The fire that took their home did not take their family. It did not take their dreams, only reshaping them into something more grounded, more intentional, and more meaningful. As they sit together in their new living room, watching Lila play on the floor, Jasmine and Matt exchange a glance filled with unspoken understanding. They have faced the worst, and yet they are stronger, more connected, and ready to embrace the uncertain future. Their journey of rebuilding, of rediscovering joy in the simplest things, has just begun. Months have passed since the devastating fire in Clearwater, Florida. Jasmine, Matt, and Lila have settled into their new home, a more modest but safe and comfortable place. The initial shock of the disaster has faded, but its impact is still deeply felt. Every day carries memories of loss intertwined with moments of new hope. The family has learned that rebuilding a life is not only about physical structures, but about emotional resilience, patience, and the small rituals that sustain them through uncertainty. Jasmine spends her mornings tending to Lila, preparing breakfast, and organizing their day. Despite the challenges of adjusting to a new environment, she finds joy in watching her daughter explore the home, unpack boxes, and create her own little space with toys and drawings. Matt focuses on work and planning long-term stability for the family, but he never neglects the emotional needs of Jasmine and Lila. Together, they navigate a life that is simpler than before, yet more intentional, more grounded in what truly matters. Even as they adapt, the memories of the fire linger. Jasmine sometimes finds herself staring at the walls, recalling the home that was lost, the flames that consumed their possessions, and the sense of safety that vanished in an instant. She often shares these thoughts with Matt, and they talk about their dreams for the future, the mistakes they want to avoid, and the lessons they have learned. These conversations are not easy. They are raw, honest, and sometimes painful, but they also deepen the bond between them. The community around them continues to play a vital role in their recovery. Neighbors who witness the fire visit regularly, offering support, sharing stories, and helping in practical ways. Friends bring meals, help with household tasks, and provide encouragement. The experience has taught Jasmine and Matt that wealth and material possessions are temporary, but relationships, love, and compassion endure. They find comfort in the knowledge that, despite everything, they are surrounded by people who care. Work and financial responsibilities create their own pressures. Matt spends hours negotiating insurance claims, consulting contractors, and planning renovations for the future. Jasmine handles everyday life at home, but also contributes ideas for design, organization, and safety measures, making sure the next home is not only beautiful but functional and secure. They both realize that careful planning, attention to detail, and shared decision-making are crucial for long-term stability. The family also faces emotional challenges that are less visible. Lila occasionally asks questions about the fire, about why their old home disappeared, and why things had to change so suddenly. Jasmine answers as honestly as she can, explaining that sometimes accidents happen, but they are safe, loved, and together. These conversations teach Lila resilience, patience, and the value of understanding that life is unpredictable. Jasmine and Matt use these moments to reinforce family bonds, reminding Lila that love and presence matter more than objects or wealth. Daily life is no longer a series of grand events or luxurious comforts, but a tapestry of small, meaningful actions. Morning walks in nearby parks, simple meals prepared together, bedtime stories, and shared laughter become rituals of healing. Each day builds on the previous one, creating a rhythm that replaces the chaos of loss with stability and connection. Jasmine finds herself appreciating minor details she had overlooked before. The way sunlight falls on the kitchen counter, the sound of Lila's laughter in the new living room, or the smell of morning coffee shared in quiet togetherness. Their perspective on life begins to shift profoundly. Material wealth, once a measure of success, now feels secondary. The focus is on health, safety, emotional security, and time spent together. Jasmine and Matt start documenting their experiences, journaling daily reflections, milestones, and lessons learned. These records serve not only as personal therapy, but as a guide for making better choices, avoiding past mistakes, and appreciating life's fleeting moments. Over time, they also embrace small celebrations and traditions that had been postponed during the chaos of recovery. Birthdays, holidays, and anniversaries take on a renewed sense of meaning. Every small ritual, whether it is a family dinner, a walk on the beach, or simply sitting together in the living room, becomes an affirmation of survival, gratitude, and love. The family begins to recognize that happiness does not depend on grandeur, but on presence, attention, and shared experiences. Challenges continue to arise, of course. Insurance delays, financial adjustments, and the psychological impact of trauma create ongoing stress. There are moments when Matt or Jasmine feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or uncertain about the future. Yet these moments are always followed by reflection, conversation, and a renewed commitment to face difficulties together. They learn to communicate more openly, to share fears without judgment, and to turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. By now, Jasmine and Matt have developed a profound appreciation for resilience, not only their own, but also that of Lila. They observe how she adapts, how she finds joy in small things, and how she learns from each day. Lila becomes both a source of motivation and a symbol of the family's strength. Watching her thrive, despite the trauma she has witnessed, reinforces Jasmine and Matt's determination to create a life that is safe, loving, and filled with opportunities. The fire, once a symbol of loss and devastation, gradually transforms in their minds into a lesson, a reminder that life can change in an instant, but love, connection, and perseverance endure. Every step in rebuilding their home, every effort to restore routines, and every act of care for one another becomes a testament to their growth. They begin to see the potential in every challenge, the opportunity hidden in adversity, and the importance of valuing what truly matters. As the weeks and months pass, the family's home begins to feel familiar again. The new walls carry warmth, laughter fills the rooms, and objects slowly accumulate, not as symbols of wealth, but as reminders of survival and resilience. Jasmine and Matt reflect on the journey they have endured, the fire, the loss, the uncertainty, and the painstaking effort to rebuild. Each challenge they faced has strengthened their bond, deepened their understanding of life's fragility, and renewed their commitment to one another. Part 4. Movie script. Part 4. Extended Natural English. Time continues to pass, and the fire that once devastated Jasmine and Matt's life begins to feel like a distant but formative event. The new home, modest but filled with light, laughter, and warmth, has slowly transformed from a temporary refuge into a place they can finally call their own. Every corner, every piece of furniture, and every picture frame now carries a story, not of loss, but of survival, resilience, and intentional living. The family has learned to find joy in the small details, the morning sunlight spilling through the living room window, the sound of Lila laughing as she plays in her room, the smell of fresh coffee shared between Jasmine and Matt before the day begins. Jasmine has grown in ways she could not have imagined. She moves through her days with a quiet strength, balancing work, parenting, and rebuilding the emotional foundation of their family. She has learned patience, not just with others, but with herself, understanding that healing takes time and that progress is often slow but meaningful. She takes time to reflect each day, acknowledging the trauma they endured while also appreciating the growth it brought. She journals often, writing down thoughts, feelings, and plans for the future, using it as a tool to maintain clarity and perspective. Matt, meanwhile, has embraced a role that goes beyond simply providing financial stability. He has become a pillar of emotional strength, a source of common moments of stress, and a partner who listens deeply. The experience of losing their home taught him that life is fragile, that circumstances can change instantly, and that the true measure of a family is not possessions, but connection. He approaches each day with determination, carefully planning for the family's security, managing resources wisely, and ensuring that Jasmine and Lila feel safe and supported. Together, Jasmine and Matt have cultivated a life built on intentional choices. They are more mindful of their routines, cherishing the ordinary as extraordinary. Breakfasts are shared without distraction. Family walks in the park are savored, and bedtime rituals with Lila are treated as sacred moments of bonding. The trauma of the fire has instilled in them a profound awareness that time is precious, that moments cannot be replaced, and that happiness is cultivated through presence, not material wealth. Financial recovery has been gradual but steady. The insurance process, while initially stressful and complicated, has provided a foundation for rebuilding. Matt and Jasmine have learned to budget carefully, prioritize needs over wants, and make decisions that strengthen long-term stability. The family has also embraced a simpler lifestyle, one that values experiences and relationships over opulence. Vacations are chosen for the memories they create rather than their extravagance, and celebrations are focused on togetherness rather than spectacle. The emotional landscape of the family has also evolved. Lila, once a small child witnessing chaos and loss, now thrives in an environment of stability and love. She has learned resilience through observation, absorbing lessons from her parents about patience, gratitude, and perseverance. Jasmine and Matt take intentional steps to nurture her growth, ensuring that her curiosity, creativity, and joy are never stifled. They encourage her to explore, ask questions, and express herself freely, cultivating a sense of security that was shaken by the fire but is now rebuilt stronger than ever. Community continues to play an integral role in their lives. Neighbors who once rushed to help during the fire have become lasting friends. Jasmine and Matt engage more actively with their surroundings, contributing to local events, volunteering when possible, and maintaining connections that remind them that life's richness comes from shared experiences and mutual support. The tragedy has reinforced the importance of connection, and they actively foster relationships that bring meaning, support, and love into their daily lives. As months turn into years, Jasmine and Matt reflect on how far they have come. The fire, once a source of unimaginable grief, now stands as a turning point, a moment that reshaped priorities, strengthened bonds, and revealed the depth of their resilience. They have learned that life's challenges, while painful, can also be transformative. They understand that rebuilding a home is only part of recovery. Rebuilding a life, a sense of security, and a shared vision for the future is the true accomplishment. Their goals for the future become clearer. They focus on stability, education, and experiences that will enrich Lila's upbringing. They plan family trips, establish routines that encourage learning and creativity, and create a home environment that is both nurturing and inspiring. Jasmine and Matt also take time to care for themselves as individuals, recognizing that their well-being directly impacts their ability to nurture their family. They invest in personal growth, mindfulness practices, and hobbies that bring fulfillment and balance. Through all of this, love remains the cornerstone of their lives. Every challenge faced, every setback endured, and every triumph celebrated is experienced together. They have discovered that the family they have, alive, connected, and resilient, is far more valuable than any house, luxury, or material possession. They have learned to measure life not by what can be lost, but by what can endure: connection, love, and shared purpose. Years after the devastating fire that once consumed their Clearwater mansion, Jasmine Pineda, Matt Branis, and their daughter Lila have emerged not just as survivors, but as a family transformed. The experience, painful as it was, reshaped their understanding of life, love, and the meaning of home. Every scar, every memory of loss, and every challenge they faced has contributed to a deep sense of resilience and perspective that now defines their lives. Their current home, modest compared to the mansion they lost, is filled with warmth, laughter, and the simple joys of family life. The walls are decorated not with extravagance, but with photographs, drawings, and mementos that celebrate life's authentic moments. Each room tells a story of recovery, of late-night conversations, shared meals, laughter after tears, and quiet moments of reflection. It is a home built not from wealth, but from care, intentionality, and love. Jasmine has grown into a woman defined by strength, patience, and empathy. She approaches each day with a mindful presence, prioritizing family and cherishing moments that once might have seemed ordinary. She has learned that life's true richness lies not in material possessions, but in the connections that endure, the bonds that are nurtured, and the memories that are intentionally created. Her mornings are filled with routines that blend care for Lila, attention to the household, and moments of personal reflection. She practices gratitude daily, acknowledging the journey they have endured and the growth it has inspired. Matt, likewise, has evolved through the experience. He has become more than a provider. He is a partner, a father, and a source of stability and encouragement. The fire taught him that life can change instantly, that plans are fragile, and that the strength of a family is measured by resilience, love, and adaptability rather than possessions. He approaches challenges with careful thought, measured patience, and unwavering commitment to his family's well-being. His decisions are guided by experience, reflection, and an enduring sense of responsibility that now carries a deeper meaning. Lila, the heart of their family, thrives in this environment of care and stability. She carries the lessons of resilience with her, learning from her parents how to navigate life's uncertainties with courage, curiosity, and optimism. Her laughter fills the house. Her small achievements are celebrated, and her growth becomes a living testament to the family's ability to transform adversity into strength. Jasmine and Matt intentionally foster her development, ensuring she experiences love, security, and opportunity in equal measure. Every day is now infused with intentionality. Breakfasts are unhurried. Family walks are treasured, and even simple chores are treated as opportunities to build connection and teach life skills. Jasmine and Matt find joy in observing the subtle ways Lila interacts with the world, her creativity, her curiosity, her empathy. And in these moments, they recognize the profound impact of nurturing resilience and presence. Their past loss continues to inform their decisions. Financial planning, home maintenance, and lifestyle choices are approached with mindfulness and long-term thinking. Extravagance is replaced by meaningful investments in experiences, education, and family growth. Vacations are chosen for the memories they create, not the luxury they provide. Celebrations are simple yet heartfelt, emphasizing togetherness, gratitude, and reflection on how far they have come. The emotional recovery is ongoing, but the family now approaches it with a sense of mastery. Moments of grief and remembrance are integrated into their lives, honored through rituals, storytelling, and acknowledgement of their journey. They have learned that healing is neither linear nor immediate, but with patience, self-awareness, and mutual support, it becomes a source of strength and wisdom. Community engagement has become an integral part of their new life. Jasmine and Matt maintain close relationships with neighbors, friends, and extended family who supported them during the fire. They participate in local events, contribute to causes that matter to them, and offer help to others facing challenges. Through this, they have found not only support, but purpose, recognizing that the richness of life comes from shared experience and connection, not material wealth. Reflecting on their journey, Jasmine and Matt see the fire not only as a tragedy, but as a transformative event. It reshaped priorities, deepened emotional connections, and provided a perspective that wealth or material comfort alone could never offer. They understand now that their strength lies in adaptability, their happiness in connection, and their security in mutual love and trust. Every obstacle overcome has reinforced these truths, and every day lived intentionally affirms them. Their relationship, once tested under extreme stress, has emerged stronger and more resilient. They communicate openly, resolve conflicts with empathy, and celebrate successes, both large and small, together. The challenges of the past have cultivated a partnership built on mutual respect, shared values, and the unwavering knowledge that they can face anything as a family. Lila's presence amplifies these lessons. She reminds them daily of the fragility and beauty of life, inspiring mindfulness, gratitude, and playful joy. The family creates traditions, learns together, and cherishes simple moments: a picnic in the yard, a story before bed, a shared meal prepared together. These small acts, repeated consistently, build a foundation of security, love, and resilience that will support them for years to come. The journey that began with loss has now evolved into a story of empowerment, growth, and hope. Jasmine, Matt, and Lila no longer see themselves as victims of circumstance, but as architects of their own life, shaped by experience, strengthened by adversity, and guided by love. They have discovered that home is not defined by walls or luxury, but by safety, presence, and the emotional bonds that endure even in the face of calamity. As the sun sets over Clearwater, the family sits together on the porch of their new home. Lila plays nearby, her laughter echoing in the evening air. Jasmine and Matt share a quiet smile, a reflection of their shared journey, struggles overcome, and the life they have intentionally rebuilt. The warmth of the setting sun mirrors the warmth within their hearts, steadfast, resilient, and hopeful. The fire may have taken their home, but it could not take their love, their unity, or their vision for the future. The family has risen from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and fully aware that life's true treasures lie in relationships, resilience, and the courage to continue moving forward. Their story is complete, yet life goes on, a life defined not by what was lost, but by the hope, love, and strength they carry into every tomorrow. Jasmine, Matt, and Lila stand together, facing the horizon. The past is behind them, the present is alive with purpose, and the future stretches before them, full of possibility, promise, and the enduring power of family. They have survived, they have rebuilt, and they have grown. And in this new life, they know they are ready for anything that comes next.